Olive is an ostrich. She lives with her family in the outback. But Olive is very different. Olive's dad loves to run. Olive isn't a fast runner. Olive's mum enjoys laying huge eggs. Olive doesn't like the look of that at all. Olive's little brother pecks at the ground to find tasty roots to eat. Pecking at the ground makes Olive sneeze. But Olive has an incredible imagination. So while the rest of her family are running, pecking and laying eggs, Olive can be found imagining herself going on amazing adventures when she buries her head down, down into the sand. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was standing in the middle of a large field with white lines painted on it. There was a net across the middle. She was wearing a little white skirt and a sun visor. Close by, two very tired-looking giraffes sat on a bench. Olive was about to walk over and talk to the giraffes when all of a sudden a ball went flying past her head. Followed by another and another.
Oh, please stop. You're going to hit me.
Sorry, man. I didn't see you there.
Olive saw a curly-haired toad wearing white shorts and holding a racket.
I'm John McIntoad, and I'm trying to train for an important match, but my training partners, Virginia and Wade, are too tired to play.
Oh, I'm Olive. If Virginia and Wade are too tired, maybe I can help you train.
Well, sure. Do you play tennis?
I don't even know what tennis is.
You cannot be serious. This is a tennis court. This is my tennis racket. Surely everyone knows what tennis is.
I'm afraid not. Will you teach me?
Sure, I guess I could. First you need a racket like mine. It's what you use to hit the ball.
John gave Olive a lovely pink racket from his bag.
Now you go down to that end, and when I hit the tennis ball over the net to you, you try and hit it back, okay?
Olive swung her racket a couple of times to get ready. John threw the ball high above his head and hit it over the net. It was going so fast, Olive couldn't reach it in time. John tried again and again, but each time he hit the ball so hard that Olive couldn't hit it back. Then John smashed the ball really hard. It whizzed over the net and hit Olive right on the wing, making her spin around. Into the net, feathers flying everywhere.
I've broken the net!
Exclaimed Olive. John McIntoad ran over and stuck a long strip of sticky plaster on Olive's wing.
Don't worry about the net. I hope I haven't hurt you, Olive.
Oh, no, I'm fine, John. But I'm afraid I haven't given you much tennis practice.
Olive looked around and suddenly thought of something.
Some feathers. A ball? Some sticky plasters? I think I may have an idea.
Olive picked up one of the balls and carefully started to stick feathers to the ball with the sticky plasters. Next, she asked Virginia and Wade to hold up the net.
Oh, that's a bit higher than before.
Once the net was in position, John tossed the feather-covered ball above his head and hit it over the net. With the feathers on it, the ball was now going slower and Olive could reach it. She hit the ball back this time to John.
This is what we call a rally,
said John, hitting the ball back to Olive. Olive and John hit the ball back and forth, high and low, fast and slow. They played the tennis rally all afternoon until eventually John hit the ball too low and it landed in the net.
Ugh, I think that's enough practice for one day,
said John, breathing heavily and looking exhausted.
Thanks for the game, although I'm not sure I'm really very good at tennis.
Well, you were amazing at featherball. You've invented a whole new game.
Have I? Oh, let's hope it doesn't catch on. I don't want to lose any more feathers.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again,
said her mum.
Okay, actually, I invented a new game called Featherball.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear,
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was in the middle of a large green field. She was wearing shorts, a red and white stripy shirt, and boots.
Oh, this grass is very long. I wonder what those big string nets are for. And what's that over there?
Olive saw a man standing by a broken-down lawn mower.
Oh, Bessie,
Said the man, sounding sad.
whatever will I do? My name'll be Mud now.
Oh, hello, Mr. Mudd. My name's Olive. What's the matter?
It's the big football match today, and you must have short grass to play football, but Bessie the lawnmower here has broken down.
Is the match off then?
Asked a deep voice. Olive saw 2 cows dressed just like her.
Oh, are you here for the football?
Yes, I'm Wayne, captain of Manchester Hoospurs football team. And I'm Gary, captain of Huddersfield United, but we can't play on grass that long. Come on, Gary, we might as well head home for lunch. The game's off. Good idea, Wayne. I'm hungry.
Long grass? Hungry cows? I think I may have an idea. Wayne, cows love grass, don't they?
We certainly do.
There's all the grass you can eat, right here, under your hoofs.
Oh, Olive's right.
Said Gary.
And if you can eat the lot, the grass will be short enough to play on.
The 2 captains went over to their teams and ordered a vote.
All those in favour of a free lunch say moo.
Moo!
All those against say woof. Bah. That'll do, Ryan. Lads, let's eat.
Straight lines, please.
Ready, steady, munch! These cows make very good lawn mowers.
Oh, yes. And even better, they don't break down like Bessie.
Soon, the grass was short everywhere. The pitch was perfect to play football. Mr. Mudd blew his whistle and the match began. The cows charged about, bumping into each other and bouncing the ball off their heads and their bottoms.
Football's a fun game.
Then she noticed Wayne looking rather unwell.
Oh, my stomach's are full to bursting. Olive, can you play instead of me?
Well, I've never played football before, but I'll give it a go.
Olive ran onto the pitch. She was playing for Manchester Hoospurs. It was 2-2 with 1 minute to go when Manchester's goalie made a brilliant save, putting the ball right up the pitch.
Go on, Olive, it's yours!
She heard her teammates shouting. Olive was looking up at the ball, so she didn't see Gary right in front of her, and they crashed into each other.
Oh.
Olive soared up into the air and accidentally headed the ball right into the Huddersfield goal.
That's the final whistle. The score's 3-2. Manchester Hoospurs win.
Cried Wayne.
You scored the winning goal, Olive. Hey, will you stay for a celebration milkshake?
Will it be grass flavour?
Oh, yes.
Everyone laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Derek, actually, I've been playing football and I scored the winning goal.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was standing by a swimming pool, surrounded by lots of cheering people. She was wearing a bright yellow swimming costume and goggles.
Derek, are all these people here to see me?
Suddenly, a voice boomed out from some loudspeakers.
Up next in the high diving competition is Braveheart Beaver, the undefeated 5-time gold medal winner.
Olive realised she was in the queue for a high diving board behind Braveheart Beaver and an elephant.
A high diving competition, and I must be one of the contestants.
Exclaimed Olive. Olive was wondering why the elephant in front of her was shaking.
I'm Olive. Why are you shaking?
Hello, I'm nervous Nellie.
Said the elephant.
I'm shaking because I'm a bit nervous about jumping off that high diving board. I have this terrible fear of heights.
Olive looked up at the diving board.
Oh, I see. It is rather high.
Braveheart Beaver scores 26,
said the announcer.
Up next, Nervous Nellie.
I can't do it.
Said Nellie sadly.
I can't do it. I'm off home.
She slowly walked towards the door, hanging her head and trunk in shame. Olive tried to think of an idea to help Nellie. It was then that she spotted a man with a beard selling peanuts.
Peanuts! Get your fresh salty peanuts here!
Shouted the man.
Elephants love peanuts. I think I may have an idea.
Olive quickly bought a pack of peanuts and began to drop a trail of peanuts along the floor, up the steps of the diving board, and then along the diving board itself. Nellie noticed the trail of peanuts.
Oh, I love peanuts.
She exclaimed. She followed the trail, eating the peanuts as she walked towards the ladder, then up the ladder, and along the end of the diving board where Olive was standing.
If you want the rest, you'll have to eat them before they get wet.
Olive threw the rest of the peanuts off the edge of the diving board. Nellie leapt off after the peanuts. She sucked up all the peanuts as they fell through the air, spectacularly twisting around all over the place before landing in the pool with an almighty splash.
Nervous Nellie scores 27,
said the announcer.
And now we have one more contestant, Olive the Ostrich.
OK, now for my big finish.
Olive gathered all her courage and ran towards the edge of the board. But the board was still covered in peanuts. Olive slipped and lost her balance. She went flying off the board, doing a flip, a triple backward somersault, and a corkscrew spin.
Olive scores a perfect 30. She's the winner.
I can't believe it. I won the gold medal.
Exclaimed Olive.
And I can't believe I overcame my fear of heights.
Said Nellie.
Oh, thanks for all your help, Olive.
Oh, it was nothing.
As the crowd continued to clap and cheer, Olive realised it was time to go. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was outside in the rain, right in the middle of a large muddy field. She was wearing a maroon-coloured shirt and was holding an umbrella to keep her dry.
Oh, Bagirk, I'm wearing a sports kit.
There was a goal at each end of the muddy field, and behind one of the goals there was a large tree laden with apples.
Hey, number 7,
Shouted a tall pig with a clipboard.
Hello, I'm Olive.
I'm Sean Curlytail. I coach the Richmond Hockey Hogs.
He said, pointing towards a group of pigs all wearing the same maroon kit as Olive.
And you must be our missing team member.
Oh, how exciting.
Problem is, you're not the only thing missing. Today, I forgot to bring the hockey sticks and hockey balls. We can't play hockey without them.
Olive looked at the big apple tree.
Some apples. My umbrella. I think I may have an idea.
Olive organised the team into a large pyramid with hair at the very top. Olive hooked her umbrella around a branch that had lots of apples hanging down from it. She shook the branch and all the apples fell off it and tumbled to the ground.
Oh, this is all well and good, and apples are very tasty. But how does this help us play hockey?
Well, a hockey ball is small and round like an apple. And a hockey stick is a long, straight stick with a curve on the bottom, a bit like this umbrella.
Oh, brilliant idea, Olive. But to play a game of hockey, we all need a stick.
Excuse me.
Piped up a small pig.
I'm Sophie Swine, the captain of the Hogs. Why don't we have a penalty shootout? We only need one stick for that.
Great idea!
Said Sean, and he quickly organised the competition. Each pig would get one shot on goal using an apple as the ball and Olive's umbrella as the hockey stick. Sophie Swine volunteered to play in goal. Everyone took turns to shoot. Some shot too high, some shot too low. But every time, Sophie would get in the way of the apple ball and eat it, stopping it going into the goal. For one shot, she even did a backward somersault, landing on her feet and gobbling up the apple.
Well, you're the last player, Olive. No one has managed to get a goal yet. So if you score a goal now, then you're the winner.
Olive took a long run up and swung for the apple ball. But the pitch was so wet, she slipped. Her shot had lost all of its power. Olive watched as the ball rolled slowly towards the line. But instead of saving the apple ball by eating it, Sophie simply let it roll through her legs and into the goal. Goal! Shouted Sean.
Olive's the winner!
The other pigs cheered and lifted Olive high into the air.
Dick, I'm glad I won. Sophie, why didn't you save my shot?
Sorry, I would have done, but my tummy's too full of apples.
Said Sophie before letting out a huge burp. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was standing in a park surrounded by tall buildings with lots of windows. Nearby, there were some kids riding about on BMX bikes.
Oh, these buildings look very tall.
She was wearing a blue hooded tracksuit and shiny silver trainers.
Yo, nice hoodie.
Said a voice. Olive turned around and saw two boys. They wore blue tracksuits and silver trainers, like hers.
Yo, hello, I'm Olive.
Yo, Olive, I'm Ash. This is Sam.
We're two of the super fast feet crew, the flyest dance crew around.
Oh, what sort of dancing do you do?
Street dancing, and we're competing in a big competition today.
Problem is, our flipper Darren is stuck in a traffic jam. Without him, we can't do our routine, so if he doesn't make it in time, we can't enter.
What does a flipper do?
We'll show you.
Sam pulled out his phone and hit a button to play a video. It was the super fast feet crew performing a routine.
That's Darren in the middle. He's about to flip. Hey, oh, yeah. Hey!
Yo, Olive, you're wearing a hoodie and trainers just like ours. Maybe you could be our flipper for the competition.
Well, I'd be happy to try, but flipping looks really difficult.
It's not easy. You need to be able to jump really high.
Olive looked around and noticed that the kids with their BMX bikes were doing some impressive tricks and jumps. But one boy had a puncture and was pumping up his tyre.
A bicycle pump? Trainers? I think I may have an idea.
Olive walked over to talk to the boy.
Excuse me, can I borrow your bike pump, please?
Yeah, sure.
Olive stuck the end of the bicycle pump into the sole of her silver trainer and began to pump. The shoe started to inflate. She did the same to the other one until she had created a pair of super bouncy super trainers.
Ooh, okay. I'm very tall.
Try a flip.
Suggested Ash. Olive started to bounce higher and higher, and then she did a double backflip.
That was tight.
It certainly was.
Let's go, Olive. The competition starts soon.
Darren was still stuck in traffic, so Olive performed with the super fast feet crew. The routine was going really well, and Olive did some amazing flips, bouncing on her super trainers. Soon, it was time for the big finish, a quadruple backflip from Olive. She bounced higher and higher and then straight into the flip. But Olive had flipped too high. She lost control and couldn't stop flipping. Just then, Darren arrived. He rushed into the arena and saw Olive somersaulting through space. Darren ran over, did a massive forward flip and caught Olive mid-air. They both landed back on the ground between Ash and Sam, and the audience went wild.
Yo, Olive, that was amazing.
Olive's final flip was so spectacular, it helped the super fast feet crew to win first prize.
Yo, thanks for standing in for me, Olive.
Said Darren.
Yo, it was no problem.
Said Olive.
I was one super flying ostrich.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I've been dancing and flipping with a street dance crew.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Until she popped up somewhere new. The sun was high in the sky, and Olive found herself in the middle of a desert. She was wearing a strange hat.
What a big fancy hat! But where am I? And what are these big spiky things? Are they some sort of plant?
Suddenly, something long and squiggly appeared right behind Olive. When she noticed it, she was so surprised she stumbled back straight into one of the spiky plants.
Ow! Ow! Me bottom! Me bottom! Oh!
I'm sorry. Please let me help you.
Olive sighed, relieved.
I'm Olive. Thanks so much for pulling out those horrible spikes. I didn't hear you coming. That's why I got so surprised.
Hola, I am Reptilina. I am a rattlesnake. Sorry that I scared you.
That's okay. I could see you're not scary.
Whenever I try to make friends, they always get scared away. Other rattlesnakes have rattles on their tails, so you can hear them coming. But mine, it don't work, see? People get scared of snakes, especially when they can't hear them coming.
Well, we'll have to find something that can make your tail sound again.
Olive looked around the desert. Soon, she spotted an old bicycle horn.
Oh, this will make a great new sound for your tail.
She carefully attached the horn to Reptilina's tail, and Reptilina tried it out.
It's a nice sound, but not quite right.
What about these?
Olive had found some bells on the ground. Reptilina tried them instead of the horn.
It's a bit closer, but my tail should rattle, you know.
Olive looked around once more. She spotted some rubbish left after a campfire.
An empty can of beans, some small rocks, and a stick. I think I may have an idea.
Olive put the small rocks and the stick inside the can. Then she attached it to Reptilina's tail.
Give this a try.
Olive, this is perfect. Thank you so much.
Suddenly, Olive and Reptilina heard some music. Two men in big hats appeared. Both were playing guitars.
Hola, we are local mariachi band, and that is a beautiful sounding rattling tail you have. Why, thank you.
Replied Reptilina.
Hey, our drummer, he is very ill after eating a mega spicy burrito, and now we can't keep our rhythm.
Said the other mariachi.
But maybe you, your amazing rattling tail, could join our band. I think I'm too shy.
Reptilina said sadly.
Don't be shy, Reptilina.
Said Olive.
I'll even join in myself.
Olive picked up the horn.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. This must be the best sounding rattle tail ever.
Olive played along with Reptilina and the mariachi band until the sun was setting.
Thanks so much for getting me my rattle back.
Said Reptilina.
And thanks for finding us a new rhythm section.
Said the mariachi.
That's okay.
Said Olive.
I was a bit rattled when I first arrived, but now I feel just fine.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive was standing on a large grey planet. She was wearing a strange helmet that was attached to a big backpack.
Oh, look at the sky! Isn't it beautiful?
Suddenly, a little green man popped out of one of the holes. He was carrying a bright red handbag.
Oh dear, oh dear.
He said as he hurried past Olive.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Hello, my name's Olive. What's the hurry?
The little green man stopped.
Oh hello. My name is Buzzapalema Hoopilaga Roopilaba Bababaja Camu Beep. But you can call me Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. That's an odd name for a little man.
Well, of course, I am an alien.
That's true. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I've never met an alien before.
Well, it's nice to meet you too, but I'm in a real hurry. Can't stop and chat.
But why are you in such a rush?
It's my mum's birthday, and I've bought her a sunstone. Problem is, I'm so forgetful I've gone and forgotten where I've put it, and my mum will be here in her spaceship any minute now.
Oh, dear. I could help you look, but I don't know what a sunstone looks like.
Sarah opened his handbag and took out a large pad of paper and some crayons.
I'm a great drawer. I can draw you a picture of a sunstone, and then maybe you could help me look for it, Olive.
Sarah sat down and drew a lovely picture of a big red stone. Olive looked thoughtfully at the drawing.
Your picture's really good. In fact, It's so good, I think I may have an idea. Why don't you draw lots and lots of pictures of the sunstone and write missing across it in big letters? I'll pin them up, and then if anyone sees the stone, they'll know where to hand it in.
So Sarah sat and drew picture after picture after picture. And Olive ran all around the planet, pinning them anywhere and everywhere. Eventually, the whole planet was covered in pictures of the sunstone. Olive and Sarah waited and waited and waited.
Oh dear, no one's come to tell us they found the sunstone. And after all that work we did.
Oh, hang on. I forgot. No one else lives on this planet but me.
Oh, so no one else is going to see our posters anyway? Well, now we're never going to find the sunstone. The whole planet is covered in our posters.
Oh, no. Here comes my mum.
Just then, Sarah's mum arrived in her spaceship. She was wearing a beautiful red stone around her neck, just like the ones in the pictures.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah's mum exclaimed.
You've decorated the whole planet for my birthday. And thank you so much for this lovely sunstone. It arrived in a space mail this morning.
Olive shook her head and chuckled.
Sarah, you're so forgetful. You forgot you'd already sent the sunstone to your mum in the space mail. Maybe you should write everything down so you don't forget things in the future.
Of course. That's what the crayons and the paper were for.
They all laughed. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been to another planet and helped an alien.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Until she popped up somewhere new. Olive found herself in a room with shelves and worktops piled high with mounds of dust. She was wearing an apron decorated with pictures of violins, cellos and bassoons.
Okay. This place could do with a spot of dusting.
Just then, two smiling woodworms popped their head out of a dust pile.
Oh, hello.
Said Olive. The woodworms vanished before popping up from another dust pile.
My, you're both quick on your feet. I mean, tummies.
Before either worm had a chance to reply, whoosh! A large net fell over them, sending clouds of dust up into the air. The dust made Olive cough.
Did I get them? Yeah. No. Ah! Missed them again.
As the dust cleared, she found herself face to face with a tall wolf wearing an apron just like hers.
Hello, I am Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, instrument maker to the king. This is my workshop.
I'm Olive. Nice to meet you, Wolfgang. But, I don't see any instruments.
This was a cello. This was a violin. And this was a bassoon to be played at the king's birthday concert tonight.
Oh, I don't think you'll get much sound out of those instruments.
This I know. It's those woodworm. As soon as I make any instrument from wood, they eat it. See, if I don't make the bassoon for the king's birthday concert tonight, he will be very upset. You must help me, Olive.
Olive thought hard.
Well, if the woodworm only like to eat wood, maybe you could make a bassoon out of something else.
But what?
Olive looked around at things in the workshop.
A vacuum cleaner, a bicycle pump. I think I may have an idea.
With Wolfgang's help, Olive used the vacuum cleaner's bendy pipe to form the body of the bassoon. Then they used the top of the bicycle pump as its mouthpiece.
Finished!
Now to see how it sounds, yeah?
Wolfgang placed his lips to the bicycle pump mouthpiece and blow.
Is that how a bassoon is supposed to sound, Wolfgang?
Wolfgang stopped playing and shook his head.
No, that sounded terrible.
Just then, Olive remembered how the woodworm had reacted to the sound.
Those greedy woodworm didn't like the noise the bassoon made either. Wolfgang, you start to make your new wooden bassoon for the king's birthday concert. I think I know how I can keep those woodworm away.
Olive blew into the bassoon as she marched up and down. The woodworm couldn't stand the noise, and soon they wiggled away. And at last, Wolfgang finished making what would be his finest wooden bassoon.
Ah, perfect. Thank you, Olive. Without your help, the concert would have been a disaster. Would you like to come as my guest?
I think I've heard enough bassoons for one day, thank you.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Actually, I helped make a bassoon for a king.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.